can't wait.
14 schools in Ascension Parish received grants from the LSU Ag Center and PCS Nitrogen to help them grow their own gardens.
Right there.
My name is Taylor Fry. We'll track the growth of 6 of the 14 schools until the end of the school year.
Y'all are good and strong.
This is Greauxing Gardens.
What y'all got right there?
Yes, I'm excited about this.
Let me see. Taylor, look at this.
Wow. It's crazy the way they...
What's it called when we took off the beans and we took off the lettuce? What do? We harvested. Very good.
Today we are back here at Santa Ma Primary School with Miss Amanda Babin and Miss Jessica Paz's classes.
I had to use a kind of ant killer that was going to be safe for my what? My plants. I don't want to use things that are going to harm my plants.
And they're going to learn about bugs, and then we're going to go out and we're going to search for bugs. So it'll be fun.
You know how I figure it out? All right, so what I'd like you to do right now is take the text that's in front of you. When I come by, I would like you to read for me as loud as you can.
Pesticides in our garden can kill our friends as well as your enemies.
In 3rd grade, they are not learning to read anymore. They're reading to learn, so they're gathering all that information that's helping them to know more about our garden. We discussed how to look for the good bugs versus the bad bugs, how we're going to weed, how they make sure they have to go all the way down and pick from the roots so that once the top part of that weed is pulled, it doesn't spread and regrow. Spider mite predator, whitefly parasite, whitefly predator.
They also got a piece of paper with all the different kinds of bugs on the top, good bugs, and at the bottom, the not so good bugs.
Some of these things I don't know that I've ever seen before, but you know where you probably can find them? Is the Insectarium in New Orleans.
And the students got to go out to the garden and actually look and see if there's any of those bugs crawling around.
All right, y'all ready to go out?
Yeah!
Really? Since the very beginning of the school year, that was kind of one of the activities that we started off with, was they were all scientists. They were making hypotheses, they were guessing of what was going to happen, what kind of bugs they might have found, whether they were good or bad.
They had their little hand lenses, and we had some kids in 2 of the beds looking for the good bugs and the bad bugs, while the other kids were in the other beds doing the actual weeding, and then they got to switch. They got to have both roles.
Wow! You pulled that?
We didn't really find a lot of bugs, but we did find some evidence that there were some.
You think it's a caterpillar?
Yes, I do.
Taylor, look.
In fact, you can see how it is.
Since we've been here last, the students were able to harvest green beans and lettuce.
So we harvested the beans, and we put beans in each Ziploc bag to send home with each of the kids.
A lot of the students were going home to their parents and talking about their green beans and eating them, and the parents were really impressed too with how their children were eating vegetables.
Somebody on Facebook even posted, my kid does not eat vegetables, but it came out of her garden, and she was thumbs up, so excited to be eating them. So they really enjoyed the beans, and we sent some lettuce home with some of the students as well once that was picked.
Doctors are what? Because we are all what?
So after the students got back inside from the garden, they journaled.
Where they have to tell us what they did in the garden, why they did it, and how they did it, and we had them incorporate that text in those pictures of those bugs. And then the picture that we see should look a lot different than the last couple of pictures that we've seen, because our garden continues to do what every time we look at it? Grow. Grow. Very good.
I love how Amanda and Jessica incorporate the reading before they go out to the garden and then the journal piece at the end. I think students learn differently. Every student is different, and so it gives every single student a way, whether they learn by reading or they learn visually or they learn by hands-on. All of the students can learn.
And And then while they were doing their journal, we went around and snapped some of those beans in half, and the kids that wanted to got to try some of the beans that we picked today while we were out there.
It is so neat to see the kids get so excited in the garden and come up to the camera and say, look, I think a caterpillar is eating this leaf, or look at this big old weed that I pulled.
This hole's from a caterpillar.
You think it's a caterpillar?
Yes, yes I do.
Taylor, look.
In fact, you can see how it is.
I found out, and it kept going deeper and deeper, and after that, it stopped right here.
Throughout this month, they're actually getting to see the baby steps come to life. All the time that we spent watering and putting all the soil in with the big buckets from the truck and putting down that mulch, they're actually getting to see it come to life. They're actually getting to pick those beans and taste the food.
Well, it's more than just being tied to science. I think that a garden right now, it's teaching them about perseverance and to not give up.
Because we've learned from our mistakes and we're moving on and we're doing all the right things to have a successful garden, and that's what they need to know in life. Never give up, keep pushing forward.
Oh, the kids love it. They want to be out here every day. If we could get them out here every day, they'd be out here all day, every day.
And knowing that the chances of them eating healthier for the rest of their lives is increasing because of what they're doing today here at school.
And I think they're going to be mad when they go to 4th grade.
They're shaped and stuff.
They might have just bitten certain places. How do you think the caterpillar did that?
With their teeth.
My dad opened the first DeLone Stewart Center in 1974. When we were children, I think I was only about 6 at the time, and we practically grew up here. Now we all work here together to keep in the family what our dad started.
DeLone's has a large selection of Traeger grills and Yeti products for your outdoor entertaining. We are also fully stocked with name brand soils and mulch for your gardening needs. Come in and visit us today at one of our 2 locations.
Hi, I'm David. I grow my own vegetables and herbs. I like to plant bell peppers, onion, tomatoes. One of my favorite things to cook is a chicken recipe with a lot of rosemary and a lot of lemon. I love to garden with the kids. From the planting to the cultivating to the actual harvest and seeing it used in our food, and I just think it's something great for them to learn.
There's nothing like fresh vegetables and herbs straight from your backyard. And we've got all your favorites at Louisiana Nursery.
Oh, I got some secret recipes, but no, I don't think I'll be telling you.
The Growing Garden Show is brought to you by Old Time Farm Supply, keeping plants and animals happy and healthy since 1975.
Today we are at Central Middle School and we're here to see Melissa Goodwin's class.
Okay, so we're going to be pulling up the potatoes today that we planted in mid-March. So what we're going to do again is kind of make a circle all around the plant so that we can not mess up any of the potatoes. Do it together and then it won't be so bad. Need some help? Once we do this, we're going to lift up, okay? Now all of our roots are there, and these are our potatoes that we have. Even though they've seen kind of what was going on underground, because we've come out here a couple of times and I've kind of peeked in, they were still kind of in awe about, wow, that's a whole root system under there, and there's 5 or 6 potatoes that are connected to it.
That's the potato?
Where's the box of potatoes? Then they started really thinking about how did this happen? How is this potato different from this potato? And so they just started to ask those questions, and those questions are the ones that we want them to ask and be able to answer. At this point, they start to get rotten, and so if we wouldn't have pulled up this potato now, it would eventually rot.
I think it was really neat to see the students get their hands dirty, dig underneath the potato plant, and pull it up and see something that they normally would only see in the grocery store, and that it came from their garden that they have spent all of this time growing.
Miss Goodwin, about Miss Goodwin.
So see how it's the original potato is now rotten?
A lot of the students talk about how they learn so much better with the garden being incorporated in the classroom because they're able to experience the science behind the science that they're learning in the textbook.
Okay, so we definitely wouldn't have wanted to leave that in the soil.
She's by far one of my favorite teachers because of this garden, but especially because she's understanding and she knows how to like give us fun. Like,
oh, wait, no, that's a tomato plant. Oops. I forgot we put a tomato plant there. It's okay, it's fine. It's really a difficult concept whenever you're teaching reproduction with non-flowering and flowering plants. But now that they've seen this, now that they've had this opportunity, it's much more clear to them. Joel is trying to give us a lesson on how flowers are girls and boys.
when we see it, it means something more. It makes more sense. When you made it yourself and you get to work on it, that's so much better.
Okay, so we want to kind of around the marigolds and in the center, okay?
So after they harvested the potatoes and made sure all of the roots were out, they fertilized the ground because Melissa wants to plant some more pumpkins. And then after they fertilized, they watered to make sure that the fertilizer would go into the soil.
Okay, there you go.
So today it was really neat to look around and see all of the students interacting with one another.
Well, but what if we wanted to leave the skin on?
Boil them?
We could boil them and that would kill anything.
It's comfortable, like it's safe.
I think the students really just like being outside and under the sun and playing in the dirt. And one of the guys even was drinking water from a hose, which was really fun because that's what you do from a hose, you just drink from it. So.
It's like y'all can all share something in common. Like all my friends, we're all different. So when we come out here, we share something like we all did this together and it's fun.
I also think that they're just really proud of their work and they have learned that they really can plant something and make it grow something for them to eat, and they're very proud of it whenever they get to harvest it and clean it and prepare it.
It's definitely changed my perspective of what to eat. Like knowing that I made it, it's not like scary or like it's gonna taste good.
For the summer, what I would like is for some of the kids to come up here regularly, maybe twice a month. Help me kind of keep the garden up and harvest anything we need to harvest. And then I would really like to get with some moms and dads of these kids that are good with woodworking so that we can build some type of benches or seating area around our garden, because I think it'll make it feel more inviting to them. And then when we come out here, the kids may have a place to sit. And that would also interest a lot of the kids who like to build things.
Whenever we come back to Central Middle School, Miss Melissa is gonna take the potatoes that they picked today and they're gonna cut it up and make French fries or mashed potatoes or some sort of potato dish with it. So the students are gonna be able to eat the things that they have been growing and pulled out of the ground. So it'll be great.
Garden Club on 3.
Okay.
Garden Club on 3.
1, 2, 3, Garden Club!
Health starts at the moment of conception. And as we grow, it's important to nurture our growth with natural and healthy choices. Here at the Horn of Plenty, we provide the right natural building blocks to ensure optimal, healthy growth.
No matter the size of your project, big or small, Outdoor Living will deliver to you. So come see us at Outdoor Living in Gonzales or give us a call.
Home IQ from eTel is smarter security and home automation. Remotely activate and monitor your security system. Lock and unlock your doors. View and record video. Control your thermostat and lights. All on one easy-to-use app and website you can access from your smartphone, tablet, or PC. With eTel's Home IQ, home is where your handheld is. Call or visit etel.com/homeiq to see the app in action and to learn more.
Today we're back here at Sorrento Primary School, and last time we were here, the students planted tomatoes, they planted some cucumbers, they planted some lettuce, they also had some herbs growing and some potatoes growing.
All right, let's come on to the other side.
Today we came out to the garden to check on everything and to see how the garden's growing.
We try to incorporate it some way daily, whether it is students having their job and responsibility of coming out and making sure the water is turned on or that we turn it off in time.
Say teamwork! Teamwork!
I like seeing their excitement. I like hearing the conversations that they're having, or when a kid comes up to you in the hallway that's not in my classroom every day and they're like, hey, what's happening in the garden? You know, that's been the best part, just their excitement and their enthusiasm.
Do you smell the plants?
Smell this one, Aiden.
Do you smell the dill?
Today the students joined another class, a 5th grade class, and all of the students came out to see how the garden is growing.
Hello, my name is Corey Holmes. I am a 5th grade science teacher at Sorrento Primary.
They put that in there, ranch dressing?
My class, they did a tour on the garden. This was my first time with my whole class, my homeroom class, doing the tour on the garden. So they was exploring all the things that we grew since February of this year. I think it's important to have a garden to teach kids not only the value of growing their own food, but also to teach them how to grow the food, using the proper soil. And we're actually studying the hardiness zone map to teach the kids when to plant certain plants. So they also learn all the things that go into planting properly, I should say.
And then lots of cucumbers will grow off of that one vine, so that'll be pretty cool.
One of the students in Mr. Corey's class, his name is Joseph. Last time we were here, decided to take a little stem from a tomato plant and plant it in the ground. He said that he had done that before in his garden back home. And so I was excited to come back and see how that little tiny plant is growing. And it actually looks really great.
The leaf started it off, and it's like the leaf is growing roots since it's like growing right.
I cannot believe that. It was from a tiny little plant.
Yeah,
the good thing about science is there's a lot of experiments where kids are actually seeing and touching and feeling and tasting. And that's one of the things we did today. The kids got an opportunity to not only see the vegetables growing, but they actually had a chance to taste the radishes today, which was great. And a lot of kids never heard of radishes before, never tasted them before. So I had a few kids say they liked it.
It's not bad, but I will never eat it again.
I liked it personally.
I think it's good.
Good. There was a poster on the wall, and the students got to say, yes, I like radishes, or no, I don't like radishes. And I think it was kind of what and what. Some students really didn't like them, and a lot of students actually liked them, and I tasted one, and it was a pepper radish. It was very spicy.
You know, as 5th grade, 10 and 11-year-olds, you hear a lot of, yuck, that's disgusting. But it was good to see some of those kids that was actually liking, you know, the things that we were growing. And so they was actually saying that they will actually start their own garden and plant their radishes and try it also in salads. so that's a good thing.
I'm most excited to see taking what I've learned this semester and applying it. And for the students to see the differences in the types of plants in the spring as opposed to the fall. And you know, it's not often in our life that we get to discuss gardening terms or those kind of things and have that real experience to pull from.
There's only a few more weeks of school left, so I'm hoping to come back in a couple days or in a week or so and see if the tomatoes are ready to harvest, and if they are, we're gonna bring them back in the classroom and make some type of tomato-y recipe. So I'm really excited about that.
We've always been a community-based business. We started in 1979 and we've grown to what you see today. We started as a feed store. Now we do service work on equipment. We sell hardware. We provide the knowledge that you need when you come through the door. We try to cater to the needs of this community. As it's changed, we've changed. As it's grown, we've grown. And we're looking forward to the next 30 years.
Hi, I'm Tyler Wagasbeck, NFR steer wrestler. Tyler Wagasbeck! Whenever I'm home, Saks Western Store is the place I like to go for anything I need.
Cowboy and cowgirl up. Saks Western Store is everything you need from horse feed, tack, ropes, hats, shirts, boots, and much more. And we aren't just Western anymore. We have supplies for all your gardening needs. Come to Saks Western Store in Gonzales.
Dishes. Not pretty in your sink, not pretty on your house. Weather interference? Also not a pretty picture. And those dish contracts, long-term commitments, big cancellation fees, it all gets pretty ugly. So when you're tempted by unbelievable offers, read the fine print. It's not as pretty as you think. But with ETEL TV, everything looks better. No contracts, channels you really want, a clear, reliable picture, local service. ETEL TV. It's a beautiful thing.
The Growing Garden Show is brought to you by Old Time Farm Supply, keeping plants and animals happy and healthy since 1975.
So the LSU Ag Center has a ton of great information about gardening, and Mr. Craig Roussel at the LSU Ag Center in Ascension Parish is the expert there. And this week I actually have a question to ask him, because those are my tomato plants over there, and the squirrels and the birds love my cherry tomatoes and they'll peck through them. So my question this week is, Mr. Craig, how do I keep squirrels and birds out of my garden?
Not a whole lot you can do on that other than netting. They'll find a way to get to them. You know, if you put a net over the garden, if it's a small garden, you can do that. Other than that, that's about it. For things like rabbits, you can build a little fence around your garden that keeps rabbits out. Of course, it won't keep the squirrels or the birds or anything out. What some old timers will do, they'll tell you to keep the birds off of your tomatoes. They put like a red Solo cup on top of the stake, and supposedly that'll attract the bird to the cup instead of the tomatoes. They like the red color. I've seen where people will take oyster shells, paint them red, and then nail them down to the stakes if it's a wooden stake. I don't know how well it all works. My solution for things like tomatoes is pick them before they fully ripen. Tomatoes are going to continue to ripe after you pick them, and it really doesn't affect the flavor as long as they're starting to ripe. If they have an orange color, you know, somewhat a little bit of green and mostly orange color, usually the birds won't peck them when they're that color. They'll wait till they get red, fully ripe, before they'll peck those tomatoes. And the same for squirrels and stuff. Typically they won't fool with that tomato until it's fully ripe. So usually I just pick them a little bit early, set them on a counter, in a day or two they'll be ripe and you can eat them.
Every year, the Ascension Parish Master Gardeners host what they call a plant swap at one of the Ascension Parish libraries, and this year they had over 700 plants to swap.
just different things. And it's so cool because from kids to, I'm just guessing, but I'm assuming there were at least a few that were close to 80. I don't know if you noticed, in every age in between. And did you notice the smiles? Did you notice the smiles and the full arms as they were carrying their plants out?
A really great thing that happens at the plant swap is that everybody who is attending brings in their plants, and then they go to this room where there is a question and answer session where people from the LSU Ag Center can answer any of their questions about gardening that they might have.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Cagnolotti, and I'm here for the plant swap. And I thought it was fantastic. Just all kinds of plants that you just would never have in your garden, you know. You think you have everything, but you don't.
Does it cost you anything? It's a plant swap. It's not a plant sale. And I think one thing that's so unique about the way we do our plant swap, there were quite a few people who didn't have anything. And we welcomed them. And we sent them home with an armload of things because for whatever reason they weren't able to bring anything. That's fine. We just want to be able to share the abundance that we have and also share just a little bit that we know that might help them be successful with one thing. They can be successful with one thing in their garden, then that will put more smiles on their faces and more interest in and anticipation of what can I grow next and who can I share with, who can I teach, a neighbor, a cousin, a grandchild, who can I show what I've done and maybe they will learn and be able to grow a little bit.
All of the schools are doing such a fantastic job in the gardens. The teachers are remaining so enthusiastic about it. I think they're enjoying incorporating that garden into their classroom, so it's been a lot of fun to see. At Santa Maria Primary, they've already harvested their beans and lettuce, and so they'll be waiting on their cucumbers and their other crops to get ready, and then they'll be harvesting those. It was so fun to see them with their magnifying glasses, looking for those insects, pulling the weeds, watering. And an exciting thing about Santa Maria Primary School is that they signed up to participate in the Ascension Parish School Gardening Contest. And so that'll be a lot of fun to watch and see who wins it. I think the winner gets a pizza party and a little trophy. So I know the students are all excited about it, and they're going to make sure that their garden looks really great whenever those master gardeners come and judge their beds. At Central Middle School, it is so neat to see those older kids learn, put their hands in the dirt, and just be out there having so much fun in the garden. And next time we go to Central Middle School, they will be cooking those potatoes that they harvested. So that will be a lot of fun and really tasty too. And at Sorrento Primary, Danielle loves the garden. She loves incorporating it into the classroom. And it was so great to see those students harvesting their radishes and then trying some radishes. They were bought at the store, but still, they tried some radishes, and some of them liked it and some of them didn't. But at least they're eating vegetables, and at least they're trying. So all of the gardens are growing, all of the students are learning, so now it's just time to wait for the sun to do its thing, for the rain to come, for the students to continue working in their garden, doing what they need to do to keep those plants growing, and hopefully it will be a very bountiful harvest.
12 on 3. 1, 2, 3, garden club!